Hey guys, welcome back to Falcons Central Radio, part of the Pro Football Central Radio Network. I'm your host, Aaron Freeman, and today I am joined by one of the top 2020 NFL draft prospects, a very productive and prolific and explosive pass rusher out of Charlotte, Alex Highsmith. Alex, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, Aaron, for having me. I'm excited to be with you.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Alex Highsmith, you should be. He's going to be one of the top pass rushing prospects in this year's draft. Coming off a 15-sack season with Charlotte, tested very well at the scouting combine. Alex, I got a chance to watch you earlier this offseason, became very excited with your sort of explosive ability, watched you go against Clemson. I heard a lot of praise from the Clemson side of things in terms of how good a player you were, but you're coming from a school like Charlotte, which isn't necessarily a Power 5 school. And even though your play on the field shows that you are capable of playing at the highest levels as you did against Clemson, I'm curious sort of what do you say to some of the people that may be a little bit prejudiced against you because of your playing at a smaller school?
Just kind of like what you were talking about, how I perform against, our best competition. This past year, I feel like, two of my best games were against Clemson and App State, the two ranked teams we played. And then last year as well, I played really well against Tennessee. So, if that's what I try to say, people who kind of doubt me from where I'm from, I just try to say, just throwing the tape from, the Clemson game, Tennessee game, and the App State game. So really, I feel like I can justify it because, I perform well in those bigger games where we play better competition.
Now, you also got the chance to showcase your skills at the East-West Shrine Bowl earlier this offseason against some of the premier players in the country. How was that week like?
It was a fun week. It was an awesome experience. Just going down and being in Tampa was pretty cool too. So we literally stayed right on the beach for our hotel. So it was really cool just going down there and just getting a lot of the NFL exposure. Like you said, being with a lot of the premier players in the country. Just awesome being able to showcase my skills and talents in front of NFL scouts, and just also getting the NFL coaching exposure as well. We had a bunch of different coaches from the NFL, coaches for our team, and so it was really awesome being able to have that exposure. And like I said, it was just a great week and an amazing opportunity.
Now, looking ahead to your NFL career, are there any particular NFL players that you try to model your game off of?
I really like to watch the premier pass rushers like Von Miller, Khalil Mack, Marcus Lawrence, Neil Hunter. A few other guys too. One of my favorite moves is the cross chop. DeMarcus Lawrence, has kind of perfected that move. So I like to watch his film a lot and see how he does it. And just also I love watching Von Miller's bend and how he attacks the quarterback in that way. And also just Khalil Mack and just the power he uses. So I just kind of try to take things from all of them and just blend it into my game. So those are probably the main guys I like watching.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about if you had a preferred move. Is the cross chop your favorite go-to move?
Yeah, cross chop is my go-to move on the outside. But my favorite move is the spin move. That's more of an inside counter move. But whenever we get a call for an inside move or a game up front, that's my go-to move. So I really love using that one.
Now, taking it back a little bit, you walked on at Charlotte. You weren't necessarily heavily recruited out of high school. Why did you make the choice to decide to walk on at Charlotte?
I remember the first time I went on Charlotte's campus, I fell in love with it. It was just finding out, that it was a startup program. I thought it'd be a really cool idea, to be a startup program and just really build a foundation, that could last for a while. So it was just really cool, going there, being a part of a startup program, and just love the school, love the city of Charlotte. It's just I knew I could have a good chance to play there. So, that's really why I chose it. I came in and didn't come to camp my freshman year. Actually came the first day of school, just kind of, as soon as I walked on there, just made the most of my opportunity, did whatever I could, had that chip on my shoulder, to outwork everyone, just be the best that I can be.
Yeah, and do you carry that chip now with you? You feel like that's going to give you extra motivation when you try to make the jump to the next level?
Yes, sir, for sure. I always say, my walk-on mentality is something that I always have, and just how I work in my everyday life, it's something that I'm always going to have. So, no matter, if how good I do in the league, I'm always going to, have that chip on my shoulder, just throughout my whole career and everything I do in life.
You talked about Charlotte as a program. They put in some pretty solid NFL players in recent years, particularly on the trenches, like Larry Ogunjobi and Nate Davis. Do you feel like that's a program on the rise?
Yeah, I definitely do. It's this especially this year too as well. We had 3 guys go to the Shrine Bowl and 3 guys to the Combine. That's the most we've ever had it. Any Premier All-Star game or the Combine. So just the ceiling is only getting higher for this school, and I just can't wait to see how many more guys come out. It's just really cool to be able to set for guys like Larry and Nate, and me, Cam, Clark, and Benny LeMay, be able to set the foundation, set the standard for other guys that come behind us. So it's really awesome, and I just can't wait to see more talent that comes out of our school for sure.
Now, this is a Atlanta Falcons show, and I know a lot of the Falcon fans watching would be upset if I didn't ask you this question. Have you had any contact with the Falcons during this pre-draft process?
Yes, sir. I've had a good amount of contact with them. I actually talked the other day with the Falcons as well. Tosh Lupoy, the run game coordinator, had a good conversation with him. So, it's been really cool being able to talk with them. I have been a Panthers fan my whole life. So kind of Falcons have always been a rival, in our household. But, it would be really cool, really amazing to be able to go down to Atlanta and play for the Falcons. Just the fan base is awesome, just awesome stadium. So it really be and I love Atlanta too. So it'd be really cool to go down there, play for that organization.
Well, I always say if you're a fan of another team growing up and you get picked by another team, you just extra motivated against that your favorite team to show them why they were mistaken for not necessarily. I think the Falcons would definitely benefit from that. I'm curious, sort of given sort of the climate around the country now with coronavirus and whatnot, sort of, and how it's impacting sort of the normal pre-draft process where you be going through pro days and private workouts. Sort of how is that affecting you right now?
It's definitely affecting me. All the guys in this draft process. But it's definitely different. It's definitely kind of weird. But really, all my meetings and all my pre-draft workouts have turned into FaceTime meetings. So I've had some FaceTime meetings with a few coaches the past couple of days, and I have some more scheduled here later in the future for my 30 visits. So got a couple teams scheduled for that. So just kind of here and just getting just in my schedule still. I've been putting a lot of work in my house and stuff like that. I've been training with a USC fighter down here at Wilmington. So it's been pretty cool being able to stay on my cardio, stay on my workouts, and just it's really different. It's kind of a crazy time, but just really staying committed and just finding ways to just stick to my schedule and just be the best that I can be every day. So it's definitely different. And so I know I'm gonna have a lot of FaceTime meetings here coming up soon. So that's really what it's like for me.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about your time, at Charlotte, some of the competition you faced. Was there any sort of offensive tackles out there that you faced over your career that really stand out in your eyes, or sort of the toughest competition that you had to deal with?
I'd say, playing against, guys from Clemson, Jackson Carman, Tremaine Ankrum, 2 guys. Tremaine's going to the draft process this year. Jackson's a sophomore. He'll definitely be the top pick coming up here in a couple of years, or year or 2. But just probably going against those guys are probably some great competition. They're both really good. And also, I remember I didn't play as much my sophomore year, but we played Kansas State, and they had Dalton Reisner, who's a tackle. I'm pretty sure he's in the league now. I don't know what team he's on, but he was really good as well. So just playing against guys like that were just really good competition. I feel like probably my best competition. Also, just going against every day, going against Cam Clark in practice. He's a guy going through this process with me as well. He's definitely got NFL talent. Any team would be lucky to have him. So just going against him every day just really helped me sharpen my skills and just be better.
So your background growing up. What are some of the lessons that your parents sort of instilled in you growing up that you're now trying to apply to, making this transition to the next level?
Let me say, having a high character, just having a great work ethic, just becomes a character, just treat people the way you want to be treated, treat people with respect, just really, leaving an impact on people is really what matters most to me. That's what really success is about for me. It's people won't always remember what you do, but they always remember how you make them feel. So just really just having an impact on people, respecting people, just showing love to people, and also just a work ethic. Something that's always been something that's been instilled in me. Me being a walk-on, having that walk-on mentality. So just everything in life, it's nothing's given to you. You got to go out and earn everything. So just really going out and just being the best that I can be at everything I do.
Now, I read somewhere that, you had some weight fluctuations early in your career at Charlotte. You were having some struggles with some nutrition and trying to get that down. And from what I understand, that you learned how to grill, and that sort of has helped you. Obviously, you're going to be planning on playing in the stadiums on Sundays rather than being out there tailgating. But if you could basically set up your own tailgate using your grilling skills now, your mastery of that art form, sort of what would you be serving up at your tailgate?
Some hot dogs, hamburgers. Be serving up some ribs, and I really like I feel like the best thing I cook is Caribbean jerk chicken. So just get some boneless, skinless chicken thighs and marinating those up and just cooking them up for everybody, and then just having a bunch of different sides like French onion dip with chips and some cheese dip, some queso. I like to make queso in my crock pot as well. So just having some of that as well. So that's what I'd say I serve up.
Any tips, tricks that you have with that jerk chicken marinade?
Just put seasoning on it first. So I think I do some Cajun seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, and probably do those three. Then just put the chicken in a bag, pour the marinade in, and shake it up. Just leave it in there for overnight, or sometimes it's a 30-minute marinade, so I can leave it in there for an hour or two. Then just throw it right on the grill, and it's I love the boneless chicken thighs because they're so tender, and so that's my go-to. I actually won a competition off of it a couple years ago at my church. We had a grill competition for Father's Day, and actually ended up winning a grill at my church for that. So it's pretty cool.
You a gas or charcoal man?
Being gas. I'm still learning really a lot how to use charcoal. I've been learning with my dad, but we have a gas grill up in Charlotte at my house with the guys I live with, so that's what we really use up there.
Okay. What were some of the tips that you learned from a nutrition standpoint that sort of have helped you be able to be in a position now where you're being able to maintain your shape and conditioning?
I've learned a lot of tips, especially over the past couple of years. Kind of like you were saying, really nutrition is what really helped me just to change my body and just take my game to the next level. And I really started learning that stuff in spring of 2018. This past couple months being at Exos, where I trained for the combine. We were eating so clean, eating so healthy. It's just like the little things, from, choosing a whole wheat, whole grain bread over white bread, brown rice over white rice, just really looking for all those healthy options that I can get, and just knowing, what foods have trans fat, saturated fat, monosaturated fat. So it's really, really, when I go to the grocery store now, I really look at labels on everything. I used to go to the grocery store, just pick stuff out, but now it's like, I'm looking at everything. Okay, so, see what's the best for me and what can fuel me up the best. So I remember when I was a freshman, I gained weight, but it was the wrong way. I just gained what they call the freshman 15. So I would just go, I'll go to the cafeteria and I eat anything there. If pizza was there, I'd eat that, and that definitely wasn't good for me. I haven't had pizza in so long, recently, but I'd really just go and eat anything that I wanted, and that's kind of why I gained weight the wrong way. But now it's like I'm learning it, and I know a lot about it now. So me being an exercise science major too, helped me a lot. It's taking a nutrition class as well, so it's definitely helped me.
Now, everybody says, you just want to get picked when you get to the draft, but is there a point, not necessarily a place where you want to get picked, but is there like a round where you're sort of hoping or expecting yourself to get picked?
No, I've been seeing, just a lot of mock drafts and reports, stuff like that. I don't really pay attention to them and stuff like that, but I've been hearing a lot of third, fourth right now. Realistically, that's what I've been hearing. So really, perfect world, I'd love to get picked in the second round, even first round. If that can work my way up there. But wherever I go, I just I know I'm gonna go to that team and help them to be the best team they can be. Go to the Super Bowl, do whatever I can, to help the team be successful. So no matter where I go, I'm gonna have that chip on my shoulder and just to strive to be the best that I can be.
Okay. Now, looking at sort of your expectations, do you feel like you fit maybe a specific scene? Do you feel like you're a guy that can play with his hand in the dirt, or do you feel like you have that athleticism to be able to play more of a stand-up role at the next level?
I feel like I can play both. If I'm sure teams would want to put some weight on me. If I go to like a 4-3 team, I'm sure teams are good because I weigh like 249, 250. So I'm sure teams will want me to gain like 5 to 10 pounds, which I can do easily the right way. But, I feel like, also I can definitely play that 3-4 outside backer. We ran a 3-4 my first 2 years at Charlotte. So I had a lot of experience at that. Played linebacker in high school as well. I feel like I showed people at the combine when we were doing drops and catching balls. That I can move and I'm fluid, and so that I can just be able to be flexible and be able to play both positions. So I think either one would be a good position for me.
Okay. Well, Alex, I definitely appreciate you joining us and sharing your insights. Hope for the best for you at the next level. Hopefully, a team like the Falcons or wherever you wind up getting picked, I think they're going to get a very exciting player. Big fan of your game, very explosive playmaker, and hope you, wish you the best. Go ahead, plug your Twitter, anything else you feel you want to plug.
Okay, how do I do that?
I mean, just say what your Twitter handle is, and
Twitter handle is at Highsmith34. My IG as well. My IG is Smitty with 3 T's _5, and then just Alex Highsmith on Facebook. So those are my social media profiles that I'm on.
Okay. Well, again, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you'll get a chance, hopefully, with all the stuff that's going on in the country right now. You'll get a chance to be able to showcase your skills between now and the draft that'll potentially help you out as you make the jump to the next level. And again, wish you the best of luck. And I appreciate you for joining me today to talk a little bit of football today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for having me.
All right, man.
All right. Be safe.
You too. So, guys.